Okay, my neurodivergent ladies, this is going to be quick and fast. High level, 10 tips for neurodivergent women navigating midlife, right? So if you're a neurodivergent woman in midlife and things suddenly feel harder than they used to, you're not imagining it. It is real. And women, many women tell me the same story, right? Everything used to be good. I used to be able to manage this. I could read the room. I had my list. And then everything just kind of like falls apart, right? All of those coping strategies that worked for us for decades don't work anymore. And we know that. And we know that that's because dopamine is being changed, and so is serotonin, and so is oxytocin, and our sleep is messed up, and we got a lot of cortisol, and all of those systems work together and take out those scaffolding around us. So today is really high level 10 tips that can help neurodivergent women navigate midlife with a little bit more clarity and a little bit more compassion for ourselves. Okay. Number one, protect your sleep. Sleep becomes one of the most important foundations for brain function in midlife. It is the only time that we are getting true restoration of the body. When sleep is disrupted, attention, emotional regulation, and stress tolerance all suffer. So we know this. We have to focus on our sleep. I say this is an easy tip. That doesn't mean it's actually easy to do. It means that we got to make this a priority. Okay. And it is not optional for the neurodivergent women. It's not optional for any women, to be honest with you, but it is definitely essential for our nervous system support. Okay. Sleep, 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 sleep. Number two, reduce the cognitive load. Many neurodivergent women run very complex internal operating systems, me included. Here I am, it is. We're tracking schedules, we have responsibilities, we have emotional dynamics, expectations. Remember, we're over here holding the world together. Midlife is a time to simplify, fewer commitments, more structure, be more thoughtful in what you're committing to. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't commit, it just means be thoughtful in what you're committing to. More structure, less mental clutter. Your brain benefits from having fewer open loops. And you don't have to go from 47 open loops to zero. Okay. You can go to 30, you can go to 27. We just need fewer. Okay. Tip number three, stabilize the blood sugar. Okay. Brain energy depends on stable blood sugar. Remember, 25% of glucose utilization happens in the brain. And guess what happens with us, ladies? We're not fueling our bodies properly, right? A lot of us forget to eat. And then guess what happens? Down goes the blood sugar, and there you go. Brain fog, irritability, fatigue, and it's hard for us to come back from that. So, meals, protein, 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 healthy fats, fiber. Okay, we need to be supporting that energy throughout the day. We cannot wait to fuel the body and mind until we're pushing an empty car that ran out of gas to the gas station. That will fail us every time. Every time. Okay. Tip four, build recovery time into your day. Okay. We, as neurodivergent women, experience increased sensory sensitivity during midlife, even if we experienced it before anymore. Noises bother us more, busy environments, constant stimulation can be even more draining. Quiet time and lower stimulation environments help the nervous system recover. In my office, I turn off the overhead lights. Okay. Recovery time isn't laziness, it's regulation, it's strategy. Are you getting what I'm throwing out? We have a lot of strategy that we need to do. Tip number five, stop comparing yourself to your younger self and everyone else around you. I used to be able to handle everything. Oh my gosh, Susie Q can handle it. Your nervous system is different now. You are not Susie Q. Okay. We have got to have different strategy. And we are our own worst enemy. So we've got to be able to identify the patterns that are happening to us in our life if we're still cycling. Am I in follicular phase? Am I in am I in my ovulatory peak? Am I in luteal phase? We know most times luteal is horrible, right? Or worse for us because that's when we have the lowest amount of estrogen. Okay, but guess what we do? We compare ourselves to follicular phase, which is when our estrogen is high and we feel great and we're planning the world and we're going to take on, everything over here with Pinky in the brain. And if you get that analogy, good for you. So instead of expecting yourself to function the same way that you did when you were 30 or the same way throughout the month, 2 weeks ago when I was in follicular phase and my estrogen was high, this was coming naturally. I was making my presentations and now I'm in luteal and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I walk into a room? You're comparing, you're saying that was your baseline. Follicular is not your baseline. Okay. Understanding that where we are in our cycle, if we're still cycling, is really important. If you're not still cycling, that's okay. We still can have cyclical patterns. You may not bleed, but you can understand those cyclical patterns, right? Tip number 6, understand masking fatigue. We have spent years masking. Okay. Masking means that we've adapted behavior to meet other people. Let me say that again. Other people's expectations, even when it requires significant amount of our mental energy. This is why in midlife we don't want to do social events. We don't want to go out. We'd rather just sit home because we don't have the mental capacity that it takes. It's so mentally draining, and then we have to recover from that. Okay. And over time, the energy cost adds up. In midlife, when it takes away our serotonin, when it takes away our dopamine, boom, we're done. So learning where we can safely reduce that is helpful. Tip number 7, move your body. Move your body. Movement is one of the most effective ways to support brain chemistry. Exercise regulates dopamine, mood, and stress hormones. Strength training supports metabolic health. Okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency, moving with intention, right? And also just moving in general. So if you're at work, just get up and move every hour, get that blood flowing, get moving, and you will be better for it. Tip number 8 is support your hormonal health. Fluctuating estrogen levels, we know what this happens, right? Estrogen affects dopamine and serotonin and cortisol and all of these things. So understanding how hormones affect your brain, and then if you choose to optimize hormones, please do. Okay. If you don't and you choose to optimize in other ways, please do that as well. Okay. I'm not saying everyone has to be on hormones. It's got to be a decision you make. Tip number 9, recognize burnout as a nervous system signal. It is extremely common, this word burnout, and we blame ourselves. But it's actually just a signal that the nervous system has been overloaded for too long. And if we learn how to listen to our bodies and say, what is it saying? What do I need to do about it? Then it's most important. Midlife can be an opportunity to redesign how you support your brain and energy. Tip number 10, and one of the biggest, is find your tribe. Find your community, find your people. One of the most powerful things that happens for neurodivergent women is realizing that we're not alone. And understanding how your brain works and connecting with other women navigating these similar situations can be incredibly validating. Community reduces isolation and it helps us really feel understood. Okay. That being said, I have a big neurodivergent community in Substack. It is where my heart is. And I talk to neurodivergent women in midlife about all things, and we have some amazing conversations. So if you find yourself there, come check me out. The link is in the notes, or not in the comments. The link is in the description. So please come over there. We would love, 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 love to have you as part of the tribe. Okay. As always, you are not broken. Okay. And taking these tips, any one of them, you don't have to institute them all together, but even taking one, reducing some load, movement, maybe you're going to add movement this week. Doing one of these things is going to be beneficial for you. Okay. So come on over to Substack because we want you there in our tribe. And as always, until next time, stay well.